Hi, everybody. This is Amelia. I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be trying something new. On Fridays at 4, I'm going to be going live on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@feministsurvivalproject. I'll be going live Fridays at 4 Eastern Time. And from February 21st through the end of March, we'll be answering questions, singing songs, and generally just having a nice time. I hope you'll join me.
That is my preparatory LaCroix, because today you are decluttering a doom box. What's a doom box?
Ever since we did the intro to decluttering, I have gone down the rabbit hole.
There's a thing called decluttering momentum.
I mean, there's also such a thing as autistic hyperfocus.
Yes. Yeah.
Which we'll talk about probably in a shortly upcoming episode.
Yeah.
But, I've watched dozens of hours of Dana K. White.
But it's not just you. Rich, who edits these, also, every time he takes a break, he spends 5 minutes decluttering stuff.
Yeah. As I'm unpacking this doom box, maybe people want to do the body double thing and declutter something of their own.
But you've been mainlining Dana K. White?
I've been mainlining Dana K. White content. Yeah.
Did you crack the code?
And, look, my house is not at a point where it's out of control or unmanageable.
Right.
My house is basically fine. If a stranger came to my door, I could open my door and not be like, oh my God, my house is embarrassing.
Right.
You know, if a visitor is coming, give me 20 minutes and I can make sure everything's tidied.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with how my house looks. You know?
Yeah.
So it's not like it was an urgent thing for me, so I kind of had stopped bothering.
Sure.
But now that I have, as you say, decluttering momentum, I'm looking at this box. I have a doom box. Doom, I guess, stands for didn't organize, only moved. And
I didn't know that. That's really good.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's relatable.
Yeah. And so I have a box here that was packed in 2021.
Yeah.
In our old house, and we moved to this house. And this was a box from my office that I was using as my, work from home office. And it got moved into the barn because the barn was going to be my office.
Right.
And so here it is. 4 years later, unopened.
Didn't organize, only moved.
Didn't organize,
open.
Only moved. Yeah.
So let's do it.
So here, I'm going to open it. I'm taking the lid off.
Yeah, because one of the rules is look, always look.
Yeah. So it's a banker box. So that's the size we're talking about. It's not huge.
And what are your feelings about the box?
I'm curious what's in it.
Ooh.
I'm guessing most
Curious
of it's...
is a great state of mind.
I've never needed any... I've never gone, looking
That's the thing, is you could just discard everything, because for 4 years, you haven't...
I didn't
even wondered if a thing you needed might be in that box. It has been time tested.
I do have another doom box that I do occasionally go through, pawing through, looking for a thing I need. But I haven't actually unpacked it. This is not that box. This is the box I haven't opened. Although now that I'm looking at it, I have opened it because there's another box in it. That's a box that I got since we moved here.
Since you moved. So
I did
opened it to
added
put
to
something
the box.
else in it.
Yeah. What's in here is some...
Wait, let me say that Dawn from The Minimal Mom would call that a time will tell box.
Yeah.
That is a time told box.
Yeah.
All of that is unnecessary. And you could, if you wanted to, just the whole thing. But let's go through it.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the default is going to be get rid of it because you haven't needed it below these many years.
Except that it turns out after I open it, there is a thing in here that I put in here. So I had some interaction with this box in the past. So
what's the thing you put in?
It's a box of pins that I got to give away at in-person talks when I ran out of copies of Burnout.
Yeah.
And they went like a house of fire. They were so popular. And I gave them all away. And I thought I ran out. But look, it turns out I have a
box of more pins.
Of more.
Well, we have events this year, so...
Yeah, we have events this year.
Great.
And I do have a place that I keep swag for giving away.
So you have a
at
place,
talks.
you're like, this is the first place I would look for book swag.
Yeah, where I keep. So I'm just going to go put it there now.
Put it there right now.
I'll be back.
And we're going to time how long it takes. Amelia to put it there right now. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to stop my decluttering and go take it there right now. Because it's going to ruin my momentum. It's going to take so much time. I'm going to get to that place and I'm going to forget what I was doing and I'm not going to come back. Bearing in mind also that Amelia is disabled and moves real slow. And that was about 20 seconds. Took you about 20 seconds to put that box where it goes.
I packed. This is an office box put in the place that's going to be my office. So probably if anything goes anywhere, it's going to go in this room.
Okay.
I'm supposed to look for trash first.
Yeah.
Here's an empty plastic
bag
that I can use as my trash.
Amazing.
I mean, I already had a trash can, but hey, now I can use this. Trash.
We are fortunate to have plastic film recycling at our Big Y. I don't know if you have plastic film recycling available to you anywhere on the Cape.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, if I do, I'm sure someone will let me know.
Yeah. Anyway, you don't have an established routine for plastic film.
I don't have an established routine for practice film.
What is that?
This is an LED light. It's a motion sensor LED light that I used in our bathroom in the old house. It's like an LED strip light, and it is broken. It is physically falling apart, and it does not work. So it's e-waste.
Okay.
And I have a place for e-waste. More trash. This is a pocket-sized tissue packet with one tissue in it. I'm throwing away the packet and I'm putting the tissue in my tissue box.
Progress and only progress. If you stopped right now, it would only be better.
Yeah.
You would not have made a mess.
There's another empty plastic bag.
Wow, you moved a lot of trash.
This is a bag of parts.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're to.
Is that obvious trash?
It is now.
Okay.
Obviously, when I packed it, I thought, oh, I might need that. But now I don't even know
what it was for.
It's for some piece of furniture or something, but
yeah,
I don't know.
So I have feelings about that kind of thing. You can keep decluttering while I say this. I used to have a lot of feelings about getting rid of the extra parts that came with stuff you bought to assemble it. Or like you buy a vacuum cleaner, it comes with 15 attachments. I had a lot of feelings about getting rid of that stuff, but like I am not corporate America. Corporate America decided that the way to sell us stuff was to give us a whole bunch of extra stuff for free. But all that extra stuff isn't actually free in any sense, but in particular, in terms of our household, we have to find a place to put it. We have to maintain it and remember that it exists and then feel bad if we're not using it. So if something came free with something you wanted, that's easy donate, easy trash. I now try really hard to buy stuff that doesn't come with free bonus stuff. That is not the thing I was going to buy.
Yeah. So here's a little silicone travel container that I will keep, but it's full of pills. That I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw them away.
Yeah.
Because they've been in this box for 4 years.
Yeah.
Whatever they are, they're expired.
Right. If people are feeling extra meticulous and have the bandwidth, you can take a photo of a pill and do an image search
Oh
to
yeah,
find out
there's
what a pill
there's
is.
a number. They're coded. I could find
Yeah.
out what they are, but
But
they're
4 they've
years
been
old.
packed for 4 years. They're
Yeah.
probably way more than 4 years old.
Yeah.
What was that? A belt?
This is a piece of cloth fabric ribbon that came when I ordered a thing, and it came wrapped in this like cool, nice cotton fabric ribbon.
Potentially
it's
useful.
trash.
That's trash.
Yeah, that's trash.
In my house, I would put it in textile recycling.
Here's a piece of string.
It's trash.
Okay. This is a packing cube.
And what's in it? Look, always look.
There's nothing in it,
Hey!
but I think it might be broken.
Oh. You know what that makes it? And I noticed that when you pulled it out, you weren't like, oh, I have really missed this packing cube. I really have like wondered where it was and wanted to use it.
It is not broken.
Okay, then it's a donate.
I have not missed it. It is. I don't use packing cubes this big, so I'm going to donate this.
Great.
Here is promotional Post-it notes I got from a construction company. Here is a box that a pair of earbuds came in. I use these when I organize a drawer. I like to do sub-organization, and I reuse the nice boxes they give you. But this one's been in here 4 years, and I might use these because I am in the process of I'm gonna throw these out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna recycle them. Yeah.
You might not yet have come across Dana K. White's head explosion rule.
Yeah. I have. Oh, I've come across all the things, believe me. This is a linen curtain that is a set from the set of linen curtains that I use in the kitchen. And I had too many in the set, so this one winded up here. Where would I look first?
For extra curtains.
If I were looking for a linen curtain that's extra.
Would it ever occur to me that I already had one?
Yes, because I also have 2 more that are in the front guest room. Also sitting on a chair. Extra. I should donate them. They're extra.
Yeah.
Oh!
There you go.
Here's this sign I bought in Russian.
Uh-huh.
It says Aktovizal, which means I don't know, like supply room, or I got it to hang in the barn as like a funny sign to be hanging in the barn. I should hang that.
That's called procrasticlutter.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know it was in this box for 4 years, so
yeah. So you could donate it, you could put it in the trash, or you could hang it right now.
The hammer is in the house.
Okay. You could just sit it on the beam next to the picture that's behind you, or on any beam.
I'll do that for now, and then when I bring a hammer out, I'll put it on the bathroom door, which I think is hilarious.
That is funny.
Well, that's entertaining and decorative.
But over the course of the many, many weeks that it will take you to remember to bring a hammer and nails, it will still be improving your
I have to
space.
assemble a daybed, so I'll be bringing tools into the barn. I also have to hang curtains.
You got some projects in the barn.
I have projects, yeah.
Yeah.
And
so it sounds
this
like
is
you found all the trash. That's obvious.
Yeah, I think I found all the obvious trash.
And that was a luggage belt?
This is, a luggage belt that I've been looking for.
All right.
Because I thought, I have a thing that I can use to wrap around my wheelchair when I gate check it so it doesn't come unfolded.
Yeah.
Because if you just pull it, it comes unfolded.
Yeah.
So I can use this. I've been looking for this to wrap around my wheelchair when I gate check it. So this is going to go in the house. So I'm putting it in my pocket to take in the house.
Great.
Because if I take it there now, that's in the garage, which is a long way away, and I'm too tired for that. But it'll at least make progress.
It's going to make it into the house. It will gradually traverse your home.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, my house is not in such a state that would be like
Yeah.
part of chaos. It's just like things have to get moved gradually because walking long distances is a no for me. This is an alarm clock.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works.
Plug it in. It works.
It works.
That's an easy donate. What good stuff you're donating? A fully functional packing cube, a fully functional digital alarm clock.
This is a portable voice amplifier. It's a speaker with a microphone, and you wear it around your neck. So when you're talking in public, like your voice gets amplified.
If the place doesn't have amplification.
Yeah, and the place doesn't have like a built-in PA system. Or if you're walking around, or if you're doing Tai Chi outside, or conducting rehearsal outside because it's COVID times. Yeah, this is a good thing that I want to have.
If you needed a voice amplifier, where would you look for it first?
It should be here in the office.
You're going out the door. You need to take it with you. You're desperate. You're sure it's somewhere. You're going to spend the next hour looking for it. Where's the first place you're going to look?
In the desk drawer.
Up there.
Up in the loft.
Okay. Is there anything else in the box that goes in the drawer up in the loft? Not even in the drawer. Anything else in the loft, because only go up those stairs once. As much stuff as you can carry in your arms. What is that?
This is a male USB to female HDMI adapter.
Does it work?
It does.
Okay.
I mean, it did last time I used it. I would probably also look for this in the desk in the loft.
Okay.
And I found some more pins that were stray and fallen out of the box. So I'll put
Great.
those in the box on my way by. Because the place I put stuff is halfway up the stairs. So I'll be back.
Okay. And we're going to time it. It took me about 10 seconds just to get out of her chair. So that's the level of low energy and slowness that we're talking about. Less than a minute. That took less than a minute.
Yeah. There's a lot of stairs, though, so
Yeah,
recovery
that was a
time
big
is going to
one.
be a thing. Okay, this is a picture frame. It's not broken, but it's not in great condition. I can donate it, and maybe somebody wants to make it a craft project.
Mm-hmm.
This is a copy of This Is Your Brain on Music, which I used as a textbook in one of my music psychology courses that I taught. It's not obvious trash. It's not quite a donation, but it's a maybe donation. This is a thing that Dana K. White talks about as past identity clutter.
Yeah.
This is something to do with who I used to be. This is a thing I needed. I mean, many, many days of each semester, I needed a copy of this book with me.
Yeah, identity clutter.
Yeah. I don't need this book anymore. Well, I mean, I might use it. I might reference it if I'm doing like a video or talking about music psych stuff. This is a pretty old book, though. It's probably a little out of date. It's definitely a little out of date.
2006 is the pub date.
2006 is too long ago.
That's a
It's
donate.
20 years ago. All right. I'm gonna, I guess, donate is what you do with old books?
Yep.
Or recycle?
I donate.
Can you recycle old books in Massachusetts?
I don't know. We have when Rich goes to the dump, there's a place that takes books.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in my donate box. This is a jar with paint in it. And it still has plenty of paint in it. Of a specific color that I painted a piece of furniture. I still have that piece of furniture. I still like the color. And I have another piece of furniture that matches the one I painted that I might also want to paint.
Where would you look first for paint that matches a piece of furniture you painted?
In the basement where I keep all the other paint.
Okay.
So I'm putting it in my pocket among the things that have to go in the house.
Yeah.
Another goddamn pin. This is a bottle of Mood Mist. Calm. That smells old.
Oh, okay.
I'm throwing it out.
Easy.
Yeah. Right now I'm just going to put it in the trash, and when I empty the trash, I'll pour out the remaining liquid and then recycle the glass bottle. Yeah. Oh, this is a piece of the Delaware puzzle.
Hey, I wonder how many more of have you already gotten rid of the...
No, I have not. No.
That's a throwback to our original decluttering episode.
This is a single wimpy hospital compression sock.
Okay.
That's trash. These are braces or supports for shelves.
Brackets.
These are brackets.
I have a real bracket problem. I have a bracket block.
Oh, yeah? You have a lot of brackets?
So useful.
Yeah. I have a box of brackets.
Brackets and dish towels.
Over there. I have a box of brackets. I'm going to go put it in the box of brackets. Do
you want to have a box of brackets in the place where it currently is?
No, I don't want the box of brackets to live in that place.
But that's not today's project, so just put the brackets
if
in
I
the
add
box.
these brackets to those brackets, I will not have made things worse.
Yeah.
Okay, getting down to the very end here.
Wow.
This is a tea light candle holder.
Mm-hmm.
I have a tea light candle holder just like this in my bedroom. That is also just floating around.
Do you use tea light candle holder?
I don't use tea lights. No, I don't use tea lights. I used to.
I do, but that one is a mess.
Well, it's just got wax in it.
Oh,
I mean, I can put boiling water in it.
Yeah.
Do you want it? I'll wash it out. It's fine.
Yeah, put it. I mean, you're sort of making a collection.
Yeah, I do
of
have a
stuff
box of stuff to bring to you.
Yeah.
I always have an Emily box.
Yeah, in the same way
house.
that you've got like a donate box and trash. There can
and
be
an
like
e-waste container. I've got a stuff Emily's shit box.
Yeah.
This is a microfiber towel that I tore off a larger microfiber towel, and it's a very small scrap, and I'm throwing it out.
Great.
This is a Doctor Who themed wristlet that is adorable, and I like it. But I ordered it from an Etsy maker, and I sent the dimensions that I wanted, and they reversed the length and the depth.
So it is not the size you wanted.
So it's not the right size. And I emailed and was like, oh, you reversed the length and the depth. And they went, oh my God, yeah, sorry, that's my fault. And they sent me one the right size.
And so you have this extra one.
So I have this extra one.
That a Doctor Who fan would be super stoked to find in a thrift shop.
Yeah. It says fantastic on the wrist thing. It feels so nice and it's so cute.
Okay, where would you look for a Doctor Who wristlet of that shape and size?
With my other bags, wristlets. There were some screws floating around in the bottom of the box, and I put those screws in a little bowl where I keep screws for when I use those brackets.
Okay.
And I did not make a decision about the Doctor Who pouch.
Okay, yeah, sure. No need to make a decision. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I think this is a case where I need to go take it where I keep my pouches and accept the reality of the pouch space.
Of the space. Does it deserve space in that space?
It's so cute.
Yeah, so there might be, so maybe it fits, and maybe there's, if it doesn't fit, if your pouch space is full, there's another pouch that is less space worthy.
Yeah. If I think about having to, like, if I was doing the real legit, take it there now,
Take it there right now.
address the space, maybe pull something out to make space for it and bring that thing back to put in the donate box. I don't want to do that for this. And that tells me that this is a donate.
That's one of the most valuable things about the take it there right now rule.
Yeah.
Is if you're like, it is not worth.
But it's got a sonic screwdriver on it and like the little, it's got the TARDIS.
You know what? Set it aside. You don't have to, that doesn't have to be the thing you do. Let's do other easier stuff in the box.
This is the end of the box.
Oh, this is the last thing?
The box is empty.
The box is empty apart from this one thing.
Yeah.
Do you have pocket space to take stuff back to your house?
Sort of. But I mean, I have to take the donate box into the house.
Okay.
So I put it in the donate box.
So you can put that pouch in the donate box?
I did.
And carry the donate box into the house?
Yeah.
And if that pouch ever makes it to your pouch location?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't,
That's
then
also
some Doctor
okay.
Who fan is going to be super fucking stoked to find that bag.
Yeah. Oh my god, look at this Doctor Who bag. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's got a sonic screwdriver on it.
Yeah. That's the I also did find 2 pencils and a pen that I tested that it does work.
Mhm.
I did not find any further Delaware puzzle pieces,
Okay.
which I guess this means that this single lone piece is trash along with the puzzle that it goes
Along
in.
with the... Yeah.
But that's over there and another project.
Yeah.
So
And that's not what you're doing right
it's not
now.
what I'm doing right now.
You emptied that box. What are you going to do with the box?
The box I'm gonna recycle. It's like stained. It's got a little grease spot on it. It's not
Ooh.
nice
Mhm.
anymore.
You did it.
I emptied the box. How long did that take?
I don't know because it restarted the timer, but I think it's been like half an hour.
Yeah, it's been about half an hour, and I went slow, low energy.
Absolutely.
I wasn't like, let's get this done. I was like, let's get this done.
Yeah, and there were... Most of the things were 100% emotion free. Obvious trash, obvious donation, obvious take it there right now.
And I did anticipate that it would be like a lot of hard decisions. I mean, like seeing a box that's closed and I don't know what's in it, I assumed, oh God, I'm going to have to make a lot of decisions. No, the vast majority was decision free.
There was a book that was identity clutter.
Yeah.
There was a pouch that was like basically like an extra free thing that it wasn't your fault you had this thing that was not the thing you wanted.
Yeah.
And that was it for the difficult stuff.
And that was it. Yeah, there was 2 things that took more than half a second to think about where they go. So, yeah, it was easier than I anticipated, which I actually...
Next time we do this, we should get you to estimate how long you think it's going to take.
Yeah.
And how emotional you believe it's going to be.
Yeah. But so this is after I've done the deep dive into the decluttering stuff that you suggested,
Mm-hmm.
and I like it. Yeah, it's good. Cuz I mean, I have a big enough space that I can keep a lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and it's out of the way, and the part of the house I live in is very tidy and, such a normal house.
Manageable, under control.
Yeah. So like I hadn't bothered to go into the deeper layers.
Would you say you are over? Yeah. You have bandwidth to do this sort of deep dive stuff because overall your house is under control.
Right.
And
And
manageable.
also some of the stuff I've been decluttering, I have been selling on eBay, asking around like my stepkids, hey, do you want this? Texting you, hey, do you want this? Texting our brother, do you want this? Does your daughter want this? And like being careful about where things go, because I am not in such a desperate state where I just like need to get stuff out. I'm not in a get stuff out place. I am in a pretty well.
A lot of people are.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. But that's not me. So I can take time and, I can do the sort of fiddly stuff to make sure that I get rid of a thing in a way that I want to get rid of a thing.
Yeah.
So I am going slower than like somebody who just needs to, my house is overwhelming and out of control, I need to declutter, which is a lot of what Dana K. White talks about. And I'm sure the people who need her help the most. But even I, who have a house that's, pretty tidy, pretty organized, I have definitely benefited from going into this deeper layer of clutter.
Yeah.
That's like just untouched and put away.
Yeah. One of the benefits of the method is that so many of the steps do not use emotion to make decisions.
That is really nice. Like, I'm just going to go look for trash. And in looking, and the looking for trash that's not all I'm doing. I'm looking at what's in there. Yeah. And also it's given me sort of more detailed perspective on what belongs in my house. I use planners, and I had several years of planners that when I was like, where would I look first if I was looking for old planners? And I was like, these are trash.
Yeah, I'm never going to look
I'm never
for
going to
old
look for
planners.
these. Like, why am I keeping them? Because right when you get done with a planner, like, December 31st, and you put it away, it feels like this accomplishment of this, like, look at all this work I did and how it benefited my life. And then 2 years later, it's like, this is trash. So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So I threw those out. And
so that doom box was sitting there, and it was a sympathetic activator. Like, it was a source of like low level stress that not only activated your sympathetic nervous system, it also obstructed your access to the ventral stuff in your space.
Definitely.
So getting rid of that box not only helps to eliminate the thing that was stressing you out, it also makes it easier for the peaceful, connected, loving, joyful stuff to shine as brightly as it deserves to.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that, like, you made really intentional choices about.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's, like, sentimental stuff from our grandmother that I've been decluttering because I have a lot of sentimental stuff from our grandmother. You have less than I do, so, like, offering you some things, offering our niece some things. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have the bandwidth. I have a foundation of my life is pretty okay, is pretty together, is pretty under control, as Dana White puts it.
Yeah, one of the ideas that she talks about is a clutter threshold.
Yeah.
Like decluttering to the point where your house feels like it's under control. Her threshold is like, can you in 5 minutes get a space together so that company could come over?
Yeah. Now I have to admit, we have cleaners who come once a month. And it does take time, too much time and too much energy to get the house ready to be
for the
cleaned.
cleaners.
Like to remove the surface layer of clutter in order to access the like surfaces that need to be scrubbed. So that's what I was like, you know what? There is a layer I could go down.
You could go further.
I could go further and maybe make those days easier.
Yeah. There's sort of two solutions. You can't, I mean, the easiest, the sort of like larger solution is to declutter down to the point where it doesn't, there's like that layer just doesn't get as thick.
Yeah.
Or you could do sort of daily 5-minute pickups, which is one of the things Dana K. White talks about, so that it never gets so thick and things just get returned to where they go. Because it's not that stuff doesn't have a home in your home. It's that you're not the kind of person who puts stuff back.
Okay.
And we never have been, which is part of our having been disgusting children.
So it turns out that I am a person who puts stuff back, but only if there is a magnificent system in place where that thing has a very specific home.
Right, because you discovered you're a cricket.
I'm a total freaking cricket. Like Cass.
It needs to be
Clutterbug.
visible, and it needs to be detailed microorganization.
It needs to be detailed microorganization. I need to have
and it is eventual for you to have
Yes.
like a beautiful,
yes.
precisely defined home
Yes.
for each and everything.
Not just like I keep my socks in this basket, but like I keep my warm, thick wool socks in this section, and I keep my knee socks, my compression socks in this section, and I keep my crew socks in this section, sorted by weight level, and then I keep my, ankle socks in this section, and then my no-show socks in this section, sorted by color and weight, thickness. Like, that's how I do, and my socks are always tidy. Because I have this system where I can do all those details.
Right.
My underwear is always tidy because I have sections where I sort by color, by style, by level of formality. Do I have levels of formality for my underwear? Yes, I do.
Sure, of course.
So I sort by those, and my underwear drawer is always tidy because I put things away when I have and I realized this was true when I decided I was going to put my tea stuff, had been on a shelf out in the open. And I was like, that looks too busy and cluttery, and I want to put my tea stuff in a drawer. So I moved our cloth napkins from a drawer into a basket on the counter. And I put my tea stuff in that drawer. And I asked Malin, hey, husband, is it okay if we have these napkins in this basket instead? And he just didn't want us to keep the rattiest of the napkins out. And he's like, it's fine as long as it's the napkins that look nice. And I was like, fair enough. We'll throw away the napkins that are too ratty to keep out. Like, duh. Of course we will. And he said, it doesn't matter to me. I know that you like to have things organized to the nth degree. And I was like, do I? I do.
You do.
I do. Anyway, yeah, so even he had observed that I do like to organize to the nth degree.
You like detail. Yeah.
Yeah, and my stepdaughter who has ADHD was at the house last summer and was like, do you have, I don't know, sunburn relief stuff or something? And I was like, okay, yeah, it's in the bathroom cabinet on the right-hand side in the box that says skin and wound on the bottom shelf with the things in tubes.
Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah. And she was like, I love it being here. Like, you always know where everything is, and everything's so tight. Everything's like in a place, and like, yeah. So
Yeah.
cricket all the way.
That's probably really hard for her with ADHD.
Yeah. I mean, she enjoys participating in the cricket organization, but she couldn't maintain it herself.
Yeah, no, me either.
But she does appreciate that I know where things are.
So just to reiterate the sort of like clutterbug styles, this is Cass Arson's clutterbug sort of styles. It's a combination of like, do you want your stuff to be out and visible, or do you want it hidden? And do you organize with big macro categories, or do you organize with tiny little micro categories like Amelia's talking about? And I am a butterfly. I need stuff visual. I need to be able to see it, or I forget that it exists. And I am never going to take the time to organize things into the tiny little categories like Amelia's talking about. I put my socks in this basket.
I will only put things away if there's a micro category to put it in.
Yeah. So the good thing about that is putting something away in the micro category where you sat as it's just like,
It
just
feels
like
so
just
good.
like just like it takes the exact right, like it feels so, it's very rewarding. So like the motivation for bothering to create these systems is how good it feels to have exactly the right spot
Yeah.
for exactly this specific individual item that you own, as opposed to me having a basket in a drawer where my socks go.
Just all your socks all commingled?
My socks are sort of in two categories. There's the short socks, and the heavy warm socks are in another place, because that's sort of like a seasonal division. And that's truly it. And one of our struggles may have been that we shared a room until we were 16.
Yeah.
And we have different styles
Yeah.
of organization.
Yeah. And I wasn't going to participate in an organizing style, it turns out, until I had a system that I could implement and no one
Yeah.
to interfere.
Yeah. And it seems like you can manage kind of a lot of stuff when, and only when, every single one of that large number of items has a specific
Yeah.
home.
It does mean that for things that I don't have a specific place for,
They float.
I think this has to go in a specific place, but that structure is not yet set up. The infrastructure for that split, for that.
Yep.
So things just sit in piles for later, which
Mhm.
drives Malin crazy.
Yeah.
My mail
And you know what the solution is.
just sits in piles. We have a place for Amelia's mail.
This is a very common cricket situation. The cast talks about it all the
Yeah.
time. Is that you wait until you can do it perfectly.
Yeah. So we have a place for my mail and it sits there and it stacks up. And Malin's like, "Are you ever going to open that mail?" I'm like, "If it bothers you, you open it." And he's like,
So what you need is a more micro-organized, highly visual
so
system.
I had an organizer thing that I had been using to keep my journaling stuff organized in my bedroom. But when I got rid of the journals and stuff, I like had extra room, so I didn't need that thing anymore. So I moved it to the hallway. So now I have a 3-section organizer for mail.
Great.
So when the mail comes in, I can put it in 3 sections of like stuff I can ignore for a while and stuff I need to act on right now and stuff in the middle.
Yeah, you're going to need to get more detailed about what those categories are.
I mean, I don't get that much mail.
if it's stuff you can ignore, why don't you just get rid of it right away?
I don't know. We're going to have to see how the organization works out as I get mail, and I'll need to make decisions about what kind of mail is this.
Yeah. And it's very common, in particular for people who need microcategories, for there to be a sort of trial and error process
Yes,
of figuring out what
absolutely.
system works.
It's a process I very much enjoy.
Yeah.
Learning how do I sort these into many categories. But at least for now, Malin can put all of the mail in the big slot in the back, and it won't be a big pile anymore. It'll be in a slot standing up in a, mail holding item. And
What does the
now
mail
we'll be
holding item
implementing the
look like?
container concept, where instead of just a pile that can stack infinitely, it'll be
Oh yeah,
a container.
piles can grill forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So now there'll be like a section, and when that section gets full, I'll be like, all right, I got to actually address that.
Yes, that's a cue that you need to deal with it. That's excellent.
So this is what I've learned in my. It's been.
Is it highly translucent? Like, is it like a wire?
It's
thing?
a wire
Is
thing.
it a
Yeah.
clear? Yeah, so you can see.
You can see it.
Yeah. Do you have any pegboard situations in your life?
Yeah. We have a magnetic whiteboard in the kitchen for like hanging, because we have a stainless steel refrigerator that you can't hang things on. It's not magnetic.
Mhm.
So we have a whiteboard in the kitchen where we can like hang the list of things that Malin can eat, because he can't eat vitamin K because or at least he has to be careful about his vitamin K because he's on blood thinners.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that needs to be like posted in the kitchen gets posted there. Like when we have Thanksgiving, I post a schedule on, because I am autistic. And it makes me like, yeah, the kids have learned that this is a thing that I do, and it actually does help. It's not just me imposing strict whatever onto Thanksgiving, but I post a schedule like we're going to eat at 4. So like at 3:30 Sarah makes the cranberry sauce. At 2:30 Robert starts the mashed potatoes. Like so they know that here's the schedule for the day. This is when
Yeah.
things happen. I write it on the whiteboard.
Yeah, like fucking professional kitchens do. Yeah.
Yeah. And people who are obsessive about planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they now come and they look like, what's the schedule? When do I have to come cook? Like it's very sweet. They are, especially since I've been diagnosed with autism, they've been very sweet about accommodating my
Aw.
crazy. Yeah.
But it's not your crazy. It's just your detail orientation.
No, it's my difference. It's my
Yeah.
this makes me more comfortable. Yeah. They've been very, very cool about it.
And the end result is that, like, you have dinner at a time and everything's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not 5 people in the kitchen all at once trying to like get their thing done. Because we have a good big kitchen with lots of counter space, but we don't have time for, there's no space for really more than one person to do something at a time. Even 2 people starts to get annoying. So it makes the process, not only is the result good, but the process is better.
Easier.
We've had other kitchens where you could have 2-3 people working in there at the same time. This kitchen does not work like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I learned a lot from the decluttering thing, and my house is changing because of it.
Their house is getting more and more ultra organized.
It's getting, it has less stuff in it, and I didn't feel like it needed less stuff, but it turns out having less stuff feels nice.
Yeah. When I first started this way back in 2018, after about a year, I had gotten rid of so much stuff that we had experientially much more space. And it was weird. Like, I had to adjust to the experience of having empty spaces in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had this like inclination to like fill it, to put things in the places that are empty now.
Yeah.
And I had to like experience the empty spots and be like, do I really want to put something there? Or do I want to, like, what is this feeling I have about this empty spot?
Yeah.
And like, it turns out I like having empty space.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Like, I am still a butterfly. I like visual abundance. I enjoy things.
Yeah. I am by no means a minimalist. And also I live in a very old house that calls for a certain kind of decoration.
Coziness.
Like I have a 300-year-old fireplace with paneling around it and like beams in the ceiling from like it's barely 8 feet tall old house with 19 and 22 inch wide floorboards. Like very old house. And you can't, like, that kind of house cannot be decorated mid-modern, like it can't be decorated maximalist. Like, it would look weird. So I kind of have restraints imposed by the building, the architecture. So it's not like I have choices. I feel like my choices are limited as to like how I can.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's a limitation to the kind of space you like. You bought a colonial era home on purpose.
Yeah. We bought it because I don't care where we live, and Mainland loved it. So I was like, great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care where our house is because my home is wherever I live with him, right? Like, we could have lived in a mid-century modern.
Pause for everybody to go,
oh, my home is wherever I am with him. Oh, yeah, which is completely true. I don't care what building we live in, but he likes old houses, and so and I let the architecture of the space dictate what's supposed to be in there, mostly. And there's definitely a lot of procrastinator, a lot of like a computer from our last house that we got a new computer when we moved here, and I was supposed to move all the old files from that computer onto a hard drive, an external hard drive, and put them on the new computer. And that was 4 years ago. I have not done it yet.
Yep, that's procrastinator.
Yeah. So that's things that were
And now you know that that's decluttering.
That's decluttering.
Which is that for me that feels motivating.
Yeah.
That's not just a project. It's when I do that project, then I can get rid of
When I do
stuff.
this, I can recycle. I can put this old PC tower in e-waste when I do that, and that is motivating. But also, like, I have a big glass drinks dispenser from when I used to make kombucha, and then I learned that kombucha is high histamine, and I have histamine sensitivity, and I can't be drinking kombucha because it makes me itchy and bloated because of the histamines. So I have this big glass drinks dispenser, like 2.5 gallon, and I have room for it. It's been sitting in my cabinet for 3 years. I have room for it, but I should just get rid of it. I should just donate it.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to make kombucha in it, and they're going to enjoy it because most people can drink kombucha, and it's delicious and nutritious. So, yeah. Coffee maker. Big, tall, 10-pot coffee maker. We haven't used in a 1.5 years. Because we make single cup coffee.
Yep.
I have room for it. It's in that cabinet. But I don't need it. And then now the cabinet is... There's so much room, and you can see everything that's in there. Yeah.
You might enjoy. So 3 decluttering experts collaborate on a thing called the Take Your House Back course. It's Dawn is the third of them.
Yeah,
it's Cass
mom.
and Dana, and Dawn, the minimalist mom.
Yeah.
You might be interested in her stuff because she really gets down to just because you have the space doesn't mean you should keep it.
Mm.
Her question is, can I do without it? And she's the one who advocates for time will tell bins, move it out of the space and see what it's like to live without it.
Yeah.
Which is how you experience how good it feels to live without that stuff in your space. And just trimming it down to the, it takes extra organization of your habits to live with minimal stuff. But sometimes, especially when life is extra difficult, having minimal stuff makes it easier.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing. So I've listened to a lot of Clutterbug. She's hilarious and fun.
She's very funny.
And I've listened to a lot of Dana K. White. I haven't gotten so far as Minimal Mom yet, though I know that she's next on the list.
Yeah.
But I think you're right that that's the direction I need to go next, because my house is under control.
Mm-hmm.
B, I have plenty of space. But C, so I think I'm below my clutter threshold. I think I don't have so much stuff that I can't manage it. But I do think it could be better. So I think, that's probably the next step for me. So I learned a lot. It was good.
Let me correct. So in the decluttering episode, I referred to the invisible to-do list. It's actually the silent to-do list. I said it wrong every single time.
Yeah.
So if you're searching the internet, you search for silent to-do list, which is the sort of communication that your items are sending to you about you should be using me.
Yeah. You should be using me 100%.
Yeah. Whereas if you just get rid of that stuff, you will never think about it again. And all of them talk about I watch my old videos and I see that stuff and I didn't even remember I had any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Much less ever missed it.
Yeah. 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 And the idea that when you get rid of something that you paid for, it's not waste, because you earn back what you get in return is the freedom of the empty space.
Yeah.
That thing has been paying rent in your house.
Yes. Dawn talks about that a lot.
Yeah, it's living in your house for free.
Yeah.
Get your space back.
And I feel it's important to be explicit that the decluttering home organization space, especially on social media, is very full of white straight women, especially white straight Christian women.
Yeah.
And there are cultural reasons for that. So I just want to like name that that's
Oh, yeah.
something we're participating in.
Yeah.
Is consuming this content, which one of the reasons why I recommend the Organized Soprano is that she's one of the few Black organizing experts on social media.
Yeah. I really enjoy her videos. Also, she's a classically
too.
trained musician, so I enjoy that
Which
aspect
helps.
of her. And she's
Yeah.
a gamer, so I also enjoy that aspect of her work.
You would so be friends.
I would so be friends with gamers. I think so too. Yeah. I'm like, we're so on the same wavelengths. But she does have a lot of stuff, and she talks a lot about organizing stuff and just decluttering, like when things are
She is
broken or when they really
a naturally organized person.
Yeah, she's just naturally organized, and she doesn't need complicated systems to stay organized. She doesn't have this perfectionist thing that I like. The progress and only progress, start with the trash, and the easy stuff, like that kind of like permission just to make progress and not to have it be perfect right now. That was really valuable for me as this crickety perfectionist.
Yeah.
I enjoy Organized Soprano's content, but her advice doesn't really apply to me.
Except, like, the most important thing that I have learned from Kay Patterson, the Organized Soprano, is refrigeration. That there are zones in your fridge that are likely to be different temperatures and different levels of humidity, and you should store stuff in your fridge not based on how it looks, but based on the functionality of a refrigerator.
Yeah.
I have multiple fridge thermometers so that I can keep track of like what the temperatures are at the back of the shelf versus the front of the shelf, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I also like from her the like how you can reuse an organization solution. Like when it doesn't serve you one way, you can reuse it in this way. So like, don't go buy a new thing. Like use what you have. And like she's very creative about how like a thing can go from being a pantry to an office to a living room to a kitchen. Like it's the same thing, but it can serve all these different. That's really, I like that about her stuff.
Yeah. She worked at the Container Store for a long time and is an expert in the closet organizing systems and has moved multiple times over the many years that I have followed her.
Yeah.
And I have seen how she has changed her systems, her closet systems. Like it's the same system, but it's a new closet. And like, what's the new way that she organizes it? It's super fun to watch.
Yeah. She and Dana K. White share in common that they only have one set of sheets because you know what's easy to organize? 0 sheets. Just the sheets on your bed.
They're either on your bed or in the wash.
Like, and I would like that, but I've had sheets and I buy sheets and I feel like I need to keep them forever until they wear out. And like, I could just donate the sheets I don't like as much. I could just donate them. And, oh, it's a waste of money. Oh, but what do I get in return is I don't have to manage.
Not having to maintain those sheets.
Yeah. Like, I actually have had 2 sets of sheets in a hamper in my laundry room for months because we switched to winter sheets and I just never washed the summer sheets. So I don't need those sheets.
I think it is worthwhile having, I mean, we live in New England.
Yes.
I think it's worthwhile
we
having
have winter sheets
and summer sheets.
But I don't need, I mean, I only have 5 sets of sheets. Like, it's not like I have like crazy amounts of sheets, but I think 5 is more than I need. And I think my life would be easier and better if I had less.
2, maybe 3, but
2, maybe 3. Yeah. But there's definitely 2 sets of sheets I can get rid of, and I know exactly which ones.
This is slightly unrelated, but we transitioned to the Scandinavian blanket situation. We have king bed, and we each have a twin duvet on our sides. And it is so much better than trying to share king-size blankets.
Mm-hmm.
Because the dogs sleep in the bed, and so if the dogs are in the middle, then they're like pinning the sheets to the bed, and you get what you get. Like whatever they leave, this tiny strip of fabric dangling over the edge. Like it. We struggled for like 14 years. We struggled.
You know what I would do to solve that problem is kick the dogs off the bed, but
sure,
that's me.
But dogs get on the bed well. Like, I originally, when I got a dog of my own, I was like, the dog's gonna sleep on the couch or in his crate, and that's how it would start, and I would wake up and the dog would be in the bed. Because let's face it, the bed is the best place to sleep. That is why we
It is
sleep
100%
there.
the best place.
It's 100%. The dogs sleep on the bed even when we're not there with them.
Yes, they
'Cause
do.
The bed is so wonderful.
Yeah.
So, but now I have all this king size bedding.
Yeah.
These blankets and quilts and duvets, and I am really struggling to
Yeah.
let them go because they're beautiful and I picked them,
Mhm.
and also they're perfectly functional, and who knows? So that's a thing.
Yeah.
Changing systems leaves you with a whole bunch of stuff from the previous system, and like truly letting go of the stuff because you're fully investing in the new system.
Yeah.
There's feelings.
That's yeah. Before you get rid of king size blankets, talk to me, because I love a king size blanket on my queen size bed.
But you don't need more stuff.
No, but I have a shitty king size blanket now.
So you could trade up.
So if you have a nicer king size blanket,
Our stuff is all so nice. It's so good.
yeah, I know.
So many different kinds of good bedding.
Yeah.
Because I thought getting really good stuff was the solution to the problem of like not being able to stay warm in our bed because there was no blanket available.
Yeah, no.
It turns out it was twin size bed stuff.
Yeah.
Except for the fitted sheet.
Yeah. Just in the winter, we have one duvet and 2 duvet covers so that we can put one on while one is in the laundry. But in the winter, that is not enough. In the winter, we need a blanket on top of the duvet to hold the heat in. And life hack for people who didn't know, don't put the blanket under the duvet, put the blanket over the duvet.
Because you want the weight.
Yeah, to keep the weight, to keep the warmth in. It makes a huge difference. So we have a very crappy blanket that we bought on super sale at Target when we moved and our stuff was in storage and we needed a blanket because we literally had nothing. So we bought this cheap blanket and we're still using it and it's fine. But the thing I like about it is that it's king sized.
Yeah.
So it just covers everything and you never have to worry about like it not covering every inch.
Yeah.
So like if you have anyway.
When you bring your box of my stuff, you can come shop in our king size bed.
Okay.
There's so much of it and it's so good.
Okay. So that's some decluttering follow-up. Change in Amelia's house.
Yeah. It's getting better.
It definitely is.
And is it increasing your access to sort of a ventral state?
There's part of me that is still like, it's an ongoing project and I cannot rest until it's done. Because that's the autism.
That's the problem with the decluttering momentum.
Yeah.
Is you feel like you have to keep going and keep going and keep going and you can't rest, and like your brain is thinking about it as you go to bed of like all the things you could continue to declutter. And there are people who would like get out of bed and get up and declutter stuff because they can't turn it off.
Yeah. But I do remind myself that like I've made it better. Everything I've done has made it better. I have not made any new messes. I have not made anything worse.
That's awesome.
Which is, so it's great. Like, Malin has barely noticed because I'm not putting piles of things places. So it's good. It's good.
When you're doing stuff like this, it takes a long time for people who live in your home to notice.
Yeah. I don't need him to notice, but like, I'm just saying, like, ordinarily if I do like a big decluttering project, he's going to notice because I'm going to like throw everything in the hallway or, you know.
Right. Yeah. You're going to make a bigger mess and he's going to notice the mess.
Right.
But you're not doing that.
Yeah. It's good.
You're not making messes. You're just making life easier for both of you.
Yeah. A little bit at a time.
Congratulations. I'm so glad it helped you. Yay. Yeah. I contributed something.
You fully contributed, yes.
I feel about this the same way that I feel. So Rich just started reading for the first time ever in his life, Pride and Prejudice.
Oh.
And he's like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
And it just like moves. It's so like, it's like a freight train. It moves so fast. And I'm like, what is it like to discover as a full adult the most popular novel in the English language.
Yeah.
Like, that must be amazing.
Yeah.
And like, because I first read Pride and Prejudice, when I was 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I read it over and over again, and like I can't even access what that must feel like.
Yeah.
But I do still remember what it felt like to be like, oh, don't pull everything out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was this revelation of like, of, yes,
Yeah.
yes, it feels so terrible to have that pile of stuff. And the last stuff is the hardest stuff
Yeah.
when you're already
Exhausted.
exhausted and
Yeah.
don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. Or like I'm decluttering a drawer and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with the. Oh, I'll just skip it.
Just skip it.
Just skip it. I'll look for trash,
know what to
easy
do.
stuff, and donations, and skip the thing that I don't know.
Yeah. And getting rid of that other stuff makes it easier to see
And deal with
the stuff you don't know what to do
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. It reduces the complexity of the
It
decision
changes your
making.
perspective on that
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
also.
It's seriously, Dana K. White cracked this code.
Crack the code.
So yeah, it's been helpful.
And it's even more important for people who are neurodivergent or disabled
Yeah,
or chronically ill.
yeah. The fact that I cannot do much in a day, it feels so forgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her thing was partly probably neurodivergence and also having 3 very small children at the time that she was developing the system.
Right.
There's a lot of moms who are just like swimming in kid stuff.
100%.
And it's so emotional.
Right.
Kid stuff.
Yeah.
Getting rid of stuff you remember your child loving.
Yeah.
What if you have grandkids? You want to give your grandkid the toy that their parent loved.
Yeah. I have stuff that's like sentimental and from grandparents, and I'm realizing that like just keeping that stuff in a box in the basement is that stuff is paying rent in my house. Like, of being a target for mold or dust, and
Right.
like
it's
instead I could
potentially
give it
getting
to
ruined.
another family member who's going to use it or wear it or enjoy it or has space for it,
Yeah, or like you use it or display it or put it
I
somewhere.
do use and display the stuff I can or have interest in using and displaying, and the rest of the stuff I just have.
Oh, what if you didn't have to have that
So
stuff?
like the stuff I've texted to you is like these are extra. Like the peanuts signs, I had one up, but like I like putting another one up was just like another extra thing to do, and like too much stuff on the wall. So like I only had one up.
Yeah.
And the other one was just like sitting on my dresser. So, but you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I want one of those. So
Yeah, I definitely do.
yeah.
I would take both if you wanted to give me both.
No, I want one. I like the Snoopy
Okay.
one.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you chose the one that I didn't want, so.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's perfect. We have one of the gifts we got for our wedding is Charlie Brown and Snoopy hugging in that same pose cookie
Aw.
jar. And Charlie Brown's head is the lid of the cookie jar.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
Yeah. So that's that goes with our aesthetic.
Good. See, I should have done this earlier, and then you would have had the matching thing, and
Yeah. But that's,
it's fine.
it's going to spark joy for me whenever you come bring stuff, and in exchange you can get some really amazing king size bedding.
Nice.
Just like first class, fair
Magnificent.
trade, organic, high quality. It's just really good stuff.
Nice.
My bedding is so good.
Cool. Good. Thanks.
This is much too long an episode considering what it was, but I hope it people liked the decluttering episode.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is more motivation. One of the cool things about consuming decluttering content is that it's great for body doubling.
Yeah, you can declutter while you. I hope some people want to listen to this and they can declutter while I empty my box.
It's very motivating for me. I always listen to decluttering content while I am decluttering myself.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Though there are times, I have to say, there are times when I really need silence while I declutter or organize so that I can feel my body telling me how I feel about stuff. Like when I undecorated our 3 Christmas trees this year, I needed Christmas real freaking bad this year
Mhm.
because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I didn't, like, usually I listen to Christmas music while I did that, but this time I let it be silent so that I could listen to each item, each ornament as I took it down to see how I felt about it and whether we wanted to keep it or not. And it was fucking joyful
That's nice.
because I feel so like we've been married for long enough that the things that were my ornaments and his ornaments have very much blended into like these are our ornaments.
Mhm.
But there are ones that are very much like the first year we were together, I got Jingle Bell Snowmen. So it's two, like one small jingle bell and then a larger jingle bell underneath.
Mhm.
And one has his name on it and one has my name on it. And I always
Aw.
hang them on the same branch next to each other. So as I was taking down one of the trees, I moved those onto the other tree that I was not yet taking down.
Aw.
Yeah. And that's because I was listening to my body tell me what was important, what I want to make sure stays in my line of sight.
How do I feel about my stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. I've been trying to end this episode for like 20 minutes, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's be done. Let's be done with this episode. And thank you all for listening. I hope it was helpful. And we'll talk to you probably in a week.
These are trash.
Yeah, I'm never going to look
I'm never going to look
planner.
for these. Like, why am I keeping them? Because right when you get done with a planner, like, you know, December 31st, and you put it away, it feels like this accomplishment of this, like, look at all this work I did and how it benefited my life. And then 2 years later, it's like, this is trash. So,
Yeah.
yeah.